Okay, folks, and we are back for an afternoon full of fun here at DPC 2019, kicking off the qualifying run for our drag racing segment. Now here we're going to get a couple of racers out here to set their qualifying numbers. So once we get through the whole field, they are then going to be placed into a bracket, and they'll all be drag racing each other in a heads-up scenario. First two trucks out for qualifying going to be our dinosaurs, the 7.3 piloted by Matt Meyer, putting down a 12.60, and of course the true dinosaur in the group, the old 12 valve from Seth Kuntz. As the smoke clears, I'm seeing 13.3 at 102 miles an hour. Well, after just our first qualifying pass, it looks like there's something going on at the end of the track. People are working their way down there to see what's going on. We hope everybody's okay. We'll give you guys some updates as soon as they come in. Well, the smoke is cleared away from the end of the track, and Richard Coker is starting to approach to set up his first qualifying pass. We're going to see who lines up next to him to run it down here at Bandimere Speedway. Richard's had an amazing day, an amazing week so far here at Diesel Power Challenge. Had the highest combined numbers for the dyno. He also had a really solid time on the MPG testing on day one. And then, of course, was number one with a 1071 at 72 miles an hour for the 8th mile trailer tow. Massive pass he just put down here for the quarter-mile drag race. Now, this is his qualifying run, so we expect to see where he goes from here. We know the truck's definitely capable of more than the 1230 at 131 miles an hour, which is what he just put down. All right, well, Richard Coker is sitting at the top of the list in qualifying, but only 3 trucks have run. Darren Dutton's got a real solid 6.4, and he's got a lot of experience in his pit crew with being here at Diesel Power Challenge, so we know he's getting some good coaching. He hasn't exactly had the results he was looking for. Trailer tow racing came in with that 1363 at 64 miles an hour. Just had a real hard time putting the power down. Fought through the dyno, had some amazing numbers on the dyno, but he was also towards the back of the pack for the fuel mileage consumption. So here we go for Darren Dutton's first qualifying pass. Looking pretty light. I'm going to take a wild guess here and say that's not everything this truck has. Expect to see a back of the pack number here. Not sure exactly why he got out of it or why he went so slow for this one, but he only threw up an 18.22 at 47 miles an hour. Something's wrong, or he's got a strategy going on that I am not aware of. Steven Lucero rolls up to be our next competitor, running his qualifying pass for the drag race segment. It's spooled up on the line. He's going to maybe take a different strategy, let the RPMs come back down. Got a feeling he's just trying to find that right way to do it, to stay on top of that turbo and get the boost up right where he wants it to be before he launches down the track here. He's pre-staging. We're starting to hear some not so fun noises. All right, he's on top of it. He's off, squirreling out of the gate. Down the line, and here we go. He's coming across the traps now. He's going to put up at 11:23 at 124 miles an hour. We'll say hello to your newest leader in the qualifying passes. We'll see if he can hold on to that spot to get him into the first round of heads-up drag racing. All right, next up is my buddy Brad Sankey out here in his sled pull truck, seeing if he can drag race with this thing. This is Brad's second time ever running down a drag strip. First time running down a drag strip without a trailer hooked up to it. How many people can actually say that? He's got one bulb. He's staging it hard. Got to pump the brakes to get into that second bulb. A little more, Brad. He's on top of that turbo. He's off. He ran it hard. He hooked up good right off the line. Let's see what he puts up for his first quarter-mile qualifying pass. 11:73 at 125 miles an hour. Not too bad from our boy from Wisconsin. All right, we just got an update. Turns out the smoke we saw at the end of the track after the two dinosaurs took that first qualifying pass, that was Matt Mayer's 7.3 liter, came driving by the media tower here holding up a chunk of the turbo. Story is, he's going to try to get this thing swapped and make it back out here for the actual drag race. Darren Dutton not happy with the 1363 at 64 miles an hour, so no surprise to see him back out here to make another qualifying run. Man, talking to the boys in their crew, they need a first place win in the last three events of the challenge to really be in this thing seriously. Good hard launch, keeping it together. Truck looks sound. He doesn't seem to be getting out of it. He's definitely on it all the way through to the end. Coming through the traps, new time, 11:95 at 115 miles an hour. Gives him sitting in third place right now after just a few qualifying passes. All right, Andrew McCain rolls up for his qualifying pass. This is his first try of the day. Spooling up at the line, drops the light. Now, hey, the guy's reaction time does not matter, at least for this portion of it. During the heads-up drag race, it's going to make a difference. So the idea being, get the best qualifying pass you can. Be happy with it. Be proud of it. When you get into the heads-up racing, that's a different story. You can worry more about the lights and your reaction time for that event. Hey, if you're not a regular drag racer, staging can be hard, especially when you make a mistake and then you restage and you get the truck hot and you got a lot of heat soak in there and then you got to stage it again. You got to get launched. Andrew McCain going through a little bit of challenges, getting the tree lined up the way he wanted it. Nice hard pass, 11:16 at 115 miles an hour. He is now on top of the pack for the qualifying runs. All right, next up, Billy Hartzell had a rough week here so far. He's really looking to put it together. Told me between events he actually cracked the diff. That's what hurt him so bad in the trailer tow. He's going to be doing the rest of the event in two-wheel drive, at least unless he can get it fixed tonight and be able to sled pull tomorrow with all four wheels. Now, Cody Lambert's had a really good showing. He's been here putting up some pretty solid numbers. 1025, 1915 on the dyno, used 0.29 in fuel, and had a really solid run, 1170 at 68 miles an hour, so second best time for the trailer tow racing. These guys are lined up, heads up with each other. They definitely know each other. They came in. They've kind of been working as a crew. They're staging right now, and we're going to see which one of these guys can put down the better time for their qualifying pass. And they're off. Cody hard out of the hole. Billy's just kind of walking it down the track. He just needs a number so he can stay in this competition and earn himself some points. Cody Lambert going for the gold, giving it up. Hey, 1092 at 121 miles an hour. Guys, that's fast. It might be too fast. Billy Hartzell rolls over 14.2 with 108 miles an hour. Seth Kuntz lines up to stage again, gets this dinosaur ready. Must have not been happy with his first qualifying pass at 13:36 at 102. Wants to give it another shot, see if he can push himself up in the placement. Maybe strategically give himself a better chance in the actual heads-up drag racing. That's not going the direction we need him to, though. Last pass was 13:36 at 102. This one looks like as the smoke clears, a 13.5. So he's going to hold on to that 13:36. Richard Coker coming out like he wanted to put down a better pass for qualifying. Came out, gave it everything she's got. That's going to be 11:14 at 134 miles an hour. Pretty solid run. It's going to keep him up in second for qualifying here at today's drag race segment. Andrew McCain deciding he wanted to make another pass as well. Qualifying still open. He's up on the line staging right now. See what he has to put down. 11:03 at 133 miles an hour. That's going to put him in second for qualifying and bump Richard Coker back down. Let's see if these guys are going to battle it out for the qualifying pass or if they're going to wait for heads-up drag racing. Cody Pulliam, returning champ, wanting a better time. Wasn't happy with where he previously sat in the qualifying, so he decided to go out, run it again. Looks like he's going to come through the traps. 13.4 at 80 miles an hour. Not sure if he was losing some traction or just not able to back half it there. We know he will probably see him one more time before racing begins.
All right, guys, looks like we got Richard Coker going one more time down the track in the qualifying, trying to get it in before that time down. 10.79, 132 miles an hour. All right, Billy Hartzell went down again. He improved his time. He went 13.872 and threw down 113 miles per hour. Seth Kuntz, he ran 12.97 and then put 103 miles per hour.
All right, guys, I'm here during the last couple passes of qualifying with KJ. KJ, I think we got some questions going on. Number one, what's the advantage of not being in 9th and 10th place?
The advantage of not being in 9th and 10th place, there's no advantage at all because we're only qualifying 8 trucks. So that, being 9th or 10th, you're not in. So not being 9th or 10th means you're in. You know what I mean? There's your advantage. If you're 8 through 1, you're playing. If you're 9 and 10, you're not playing.
So the guys who are at the back of the pack, we see Billy Hartzell out here. We know he's got a busted diff. He's running in two-wheel drive. I think he's got 4 passes in. He's just trying to get out of that last spot. He wants to race.
Exactly. The bump spot was, I believe, 12.94. So he's trying to achieve a 12.94 ET to get into the field.
Gotcha. Now, how does that affect the points? If you hit 9th, you hit 10th, do you just get no points for the whole drag race segment?
No, I don't know exactly what the points they'll receive are, but they do receive points for participating in qualifying, and then, of course, there are more points as you advance through the eliminator.
Gotcha. I believe one of our guys sitting towards the top, at least in the top 8, I think 2 of the guys sitting in the top 8 got hurt trucks right now. If they're not able to compete, does that move up the 9 and 10 spot, or are they didn't qualify? They didn't qualify.
They didn't qualify. We won't roll them in.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for that clarification, and we're excited to see head-to-head drag racing kick off here soon.
Actually, we might.
All right, guys, and that'll wrap up qualifying for day 4 of DPC 2019. At the top of the pile, we got Richard Coker with a 10.79. Coming in second for our qualifying passes is going to be Andrew McCain with a 10.80. And down to number 3, Cody Lambert. Truck isn't going to make it for the rest of the races here. We'll have a little bit more on that in just a moment. Number 4, we have Steven Lucero with that Cummins. Number 5, Brad Sankey with his LLY Duramax. Number 6, Darren Dutton with a 6.4 Power Stroke. Number 7, Matt Meyer with that 7.3. Now, he did blow up a turbo at the end of the track. I don't know if he's going to make it in for the races. And number 8, our last truck to make qualifying, Seth Kuntz in the Dinosaur, that 9712 valve. And that'll wrap it up for qualifying races here at DPC 2019.